Hey guys, here you go. Welcome back to another episode of the Nikhil Sai Show. So, hello everyone who's watching this live. Welcome to the Nikhil Sai Show, which is hosted by me, the Nikhil Sai. And guess what's happening today? Guess what's happening today? I'm super excited for this. This is one of the best guys I've ever known in the agency space. Super cool guy, amazing results. Like, I couldn't stop talking about his results when it comes to his agency work. One of the top agencies. He is also a 2 Comma Club award winner who helps real estate investors and medical professionals to get more appointments. So let's not waste any time and welcome Fabio Soares, CEO at Avengers Agency. Hey Fabio.
Hey, buddy, how are you today?
I'm super excited, man. I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Thanks for having me over here, man.
Absolutely, bro. I'm super excited and pumped up for this, bro. How was the day so far?
It's been great, man. I just want to let you know this is actually the first podcast that I'm doing. So the first one that I accept doing it. So that's awesome, man.
There you go, man.
It's a great
Yeah,
day.
being honored.
It's a great
Yeah,
day here in
super honored
Orlando.
for that.
It's a great day
Appreciate
here
it.
in
Thank you so
Orlando.
much.
Welcome, man.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much. And that's super kind of you. Like, really, it means a lot considering this, man. Super, super awesome. So, Fabio, super excited to hear your journey. How did you get started? So, would you mind talking about like your backstory? Like, how did this all journey started and scaling it up to multiple and 7 figures right now?
Well, yes. It's an interesting story for people that are watching here right now because I've even though people can see and find out how many awards we have won within the past 2 or 3 years, I've only been in marketing since 2016. So 2016 is when I first got to know about online marketing and got my first course May 17, 2016. That's when I first got started with product launch formula, Jeff Walker. And then from there in 2018, I really got familiar with Russell and ClickFunnels and his methodology. And the interesting enough is that when I got started in digital marketing, I felt like I didn't have much to add because, I didn't feel like I was an expert that I could come out of and just sell an info product or teach somebody something, right? So I realized, okay, so if I don't feel comfortable, I don't have anything to teach people, maybe I'm going to become an expert in one thing. And then I invest my time in learning about traffic, running ads. And from there, I got invited by another agency to run ads for them and be part of the strategic process in this agency. And then within like a year and a half, we did over 200 launches, 200 city launches and webinars. And so I got really good at it, right? Because the more you do certain things, the better you get it, right?
Absolutely.
So not book smart. I mean, I studied, but then I was able to implement it. And from there, I started learning some other things, right? 2018 came Russell in my life and then learning about funnels. Like this whole thing about funnels really changed the way I see things. And then interesting is that I was actually doing my marketing. I'm originally from Brazil, but I've been in the US for over 25 years. So I'm more here than in Brazil, right? But because I was so scared of entering the US marketing because it's so competitive, when I told you about launching to do 200 launches and running ads and all that stuff, I actually did with an agency in Brazil. Because the way I felt is this, like if I make a mistake, if I screw up, like in Brazilian money is a lot cheaper than US money.
True.
So then after like right around the end of 2017, that's when I felt really comfortable with my skill set in that one particular area to actually coming into the US and basically getting clients in the US, right? So then I opened up my agency. Now I was the owner of the agency now, not a partner in 2018, around January, February 2018. And then we got this one client. We always started with one, right? It's an agency started with one client.
Yeah.
And that first client, man, we got our first 2 Comma Club award. And then from that, everything else was pretty much history. Like obviously, I joined Russell's program, and then I started getting more knowledge about different things, and I started getting more skills in different areas of funnels and marketing, start implementing this. The cool thing about running an agency is that as soon as you learn something, you have the ability to implement that right away with one of your clients.
True, 100%.
So that journey basically ended up, long story short here, obviously, ups and downs. We all have ups and downs, obviously. I would say my ups and downs happened when I was in like 2016 and 17, when I was actually, going through the process. Obviously, first clients didn't work out, and then work out and didn't work out because I was, pretty new, right? But then after you kind of do it over and over, you kind of get the hands of it, kind of how it works, right? And then so 2018, and then obviously get more clients, referral. And it's been consistently every year we're getting our clients to Comma Club Awards. So some of our clients, they're in the medical industry, they just don't want to claim their awards. They don't want to show that. But yeah, it's been interesting. And then at the end of 2020, mid 2020, one of my clients, he was a doctor. He is a doctor, a cardiologist. And then he got great results with us. And he's like, you know what? I have this other business that it deals with multi-family investment, real estate investment. And then like, do you want to try generate those leads and sales and find investors for us? I'm like, man, this is really off the grid, because I work with physicians. I work with functional medicine doctors. I have, chiropractors that actually work with functional medicine, right? But this was completely different. Like finding investors that were going to invest $50,000, $100,000, $1 million into multifamily, real estate investment. This is a completely different like thing for me, right? But the truth is that marketing kind of works the same way. People make decisions based on emotion. Obviously, there is the logical stuff. There's funnels. There is all this process that actually works in any type of niche. So our first client on the real estate investment, which is obviously this my client, we generate $19.4 million in his first project.
That's scoping big. That's scoping big.
Yeah. So then that made me comfortable now to like, okay, you know what? I can go into this niche, and it made me realize that like, wow, I could have grown my agency in multiple different layers and levels.
Yeah.
But that's it. So in a nutshell, we are an agency that focuses in helping physicians. That's our primary focus: physicians, doctors, DOs, functional medicine, basically people that want to get, they want to go that brick and mortar, but they also want to grow the virtual programs, right? They want to sell the virtual programs. It became really, really big. I would say we got a lot of space to perform and to get results after COVID, because a lot of those people, they needed to move their stuff online in order to survive.
Yep, absolutely, Fabio. And that's a great story right there. Like starting from scratch and being a part of an agency, going through that rough rashes, then starting out your own and figuring out all the way from scratch, which is incredible, man. Like that's a true story right there. And it really inspires someone who is still kind of having that momentum in their life. So hope this will really inspire a lot of people. And Fabio, like you are well known when it comes to lead generation space, helping these doctors, medical professionals to get more appointments and all that cool jazz, right? So would you like to mention like what's working in 2021? Like what is the best way to generate leads for clients? Because like getting clients is kind of okay. We'll talk about that later in the process. So like how to actually generate leads for these people? Because I believe leads is the number one pillar in any business in 2021.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Before I say this, because a lot of people, they're going to say things like, well, the worst way to get leads is, let's say, getting an ebook or a PDF, because, people are going to generally be disqualified leads, and you should be running SLO funnels. You should be selling products up front. In my opinion is that everything can work, okay? And you can make everything work. And I'll share this with you because it's very important that people that are watching this video knows this. Getting leads, you can get 1,000 leads through your funnel within the next hour. But if those 1,000 leads are not reading, let's say, your PDF or whatever process you have, it's a video, PDF, you name it. If they come in, but they are not watching that video or reading that PDF, the level of influence that you have in them to make a decision is down to zero.
Absolutely.
Right? Because they got into your environment, but you did not make any transformation in their lives because they didn't read your stuff, right? They didn't engage with anything. So that's why people complain. It's like, oh, my open rate sucks, right? All this because they came in, but they came in for like maybe perhaps through the wrong channels. And what I realized over time is that the bigger is your influence amongst a particular group of people, When they come in, the more eager they're gonna be to read your stuff, to watch your video, to consume your material. So the most important thing in my business, which I'm going to share in the next questions, is I want to get them prepared and hungry for my stuff before they come in, because when they come in, the distance between they come in and buy something from you, it's going to be a lot shorter. So we still use PDFs, we still use ebooks, but what we do in this process is, like, first of all, we have a specific way to get people through to our funnels. We don't get them to our funnels before we do certain things. And then when they get to our funnels, it's not a simple ebook funnel. We call it a acquisition funnel. What does it mean is that, yes, our stuff is very specific. So if we develop a PDF or a blueprint, it's going to be very specific to one pain point. And then when we offer that, we ask people a few questions, because we want to know in what awareness they are from that. Let's say they might be ready to buy something because they are in a major pain. They might be just checking it out. They might actually be downloading my stuff because they compare what I have to what other people are offering. Based on those questions, my clients have a sales team that can actually get a hold of these people and communicate with them in a different level. You can automate that, but the most important thing is on the next page, we're actually offering them a possibility to see if we're a good fit to work together. And we always get a percentage of people that's literally like between 1% and 3% that will actually set up that call, and there is a percentage for that will convert to literally what we sell is between $7,000 to $15,000, at $7,000 to $35,000 through that funnel. So that in a nutshell, like what's been working really well for us as a process to build a list, but at the same time, kind of like double dip and build also a client's list as well, because people are actually buying and setting up calls through this process.
Absolutely, Fabio. And that's really beautiful. Like, a lot of people brag about generating 1 million leads and downloading all this data from online, but now you gave the real, the true funds, right? Like, it's really about how qualified the leads are, and the qualification process, which you just spoke about, like right up front, asking couple of questions, getting them through a questionnaire, can really help the actual business to get exact data of who they are attracting, and can really help them optimize their business for maximum results. And I think that's like a real gold mine for anyone who's watching this. They can really start implementing this exact strategy and see potential 10, 20, 30% growth in their business. Just like that, man. That's really awesome. Absolutely. And Fabio, I really see you as one of the successful agencies I've ever seen. So, like, you are continuously having this pipeline of clients, and every new beginner or someone who is just starting an agency and maybe doing a couple of 5 figures, they really struggle with the pipeline, right? So what do you think is the best strategy to acquire clients as an agency in 2021?
I gotta be honest with you. I feel like the agencies that are doing, I'm gonna just start off just by kind of breaking the standard here. I've never run one single ad to my agency, for my agency.
There you go, guys.
Them, people are going to be like, oh, dang, like this guy's not going to have the answers that I'm looking for, right? The truth of the matter, I mean, like, it really depends on what your focus is. So, like, my focus is like a boutique agency. We don't have hundreds of agencies. We have agents that pay us good money. We have clients that pay us good money, and they stay with us for years to come. And then we have a certain amount of clients that we keep. And then if somebody wants to come in, they have to be on a waiting list. So, we create that particular plan for us here, right? We don't want to have 100 clients. We want to have good clients that pay well, that doesn't give us a headache, because if you have a ton of clients that give you a headache, it's you sometimes will feel like you're an employee rather than a boss.
True.
Yeah. The client is always like you're the employee for them, right? So, so my take is that there's like, I'm not here to talk bad about anything, but if you constantly have to do advertisement to let's say keep your agency alive or acquire clients, that means what you're doing on the back end, it's not really good enough yet. Like, I would say yet, because you can work on, because ideally, like, clients will refer to other clients, and the clients that you have, if they keep with you, that would definitely like grow. But let me tell you, like, I have to start from zero, right? What worked for me, it was very simple. It was, Russell talks about this all the time. Dream 100 for me, it was not even Dream 100. I actually and started like engaged in some of those Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Commenting on some people's posts, and then I got a message from somebody that actually want to try me for a funnel. And at the
Mm-hmm.
end, since I remember I told you it was my first client, I did that trial for free, right? And that became the client that hired me, and then I got the Chicama Club. And then through that client, because he, remember, like when I would rather target someone that have a bigger influence, because if I get to work for these people, even if it's just to run ads, but you get through the door to work with somebody that has an influence, then you do a good job, that person can refer you to a ton of different people.
Exactly.
All
Yeah.
my clients came from this one client because he runs a mentorship program for a lot of physicians, a lot of doctors. So I get to speak for those doctors. I get to
Mm-hmm.
build the summits and virtual events. So my name is all around this group of people. So they automatically reach out to me for a phone call to see if I can help them build their business. So was 100% referral, but it started with one client where I did a good job. And I did do a good job because we did get the Chicama Club Award, right? So we did a good job. And that one client, one, it
Just
is
one.
responsible for everything that happened to my agency up to today.
Wow, man, that's a really great story to hear again, and I really understand the depth which is happening right there. Like as an agency, it's not a primary goal to acquire as many clients as possible, but it's the goal to make sure that even if you have one client, deliver maximum results, because it's gonna end up being great referral system, or else at least a grateful system which helps you keep alive, right? And which makes us feel grateful to run the agency, right? That's really
Yes.
awesome.
And I want to share like one of the reasons like in the beginning, like when I have this one client refer me to other clients, yes, I lost some clients in the process, but I learned really quick on how to not lose a client. One of the things that you should do if you want to keep your agency expanding with the referrals is
Mm-hmm.
that you have to create a system in your agency where it's a no-brainer for the client to see the results. Like for me, for instance, so imagine like I'm paying you $2,000 every month to run ads. Like meaning, let's say I'm paying you $5,000 as an agency plus another $2,000 in Facebook ads or $3,000 in Facebook ads. I'm gonna be looking at the end of the month. I'm like, gosh, man, I'm spending $3,000 in ads and I'm paying this guy. A lot of the clients, they're just gonna look at what comes in. You have to create a pipeline to show them, look, this is what's coming in, this is what's
Mm-hmm.
coming out right here. You have to constantly be reminding them that there is a 2x, a 3x, a 5x, a 10x of what you are doing for them. If you don't paint that picture, you are in trouble. Let me give you a way on how you're not going to be painting this picture. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say somebody built a funnel and they are hiring you to run ads for that funnel. You're running ads for that funnel, then one person built the funnel, one agency built the ads, and the client's in the middle. And then the client is not seeing any money coming in. First thing the client's going to be like, okay, let me talk to the guy from the advertisement agency. And the guy, well, man, look, the cost per lead is this. Is the problem is the funnel is not converting. Then he goes to the guy with the funnel. And the guy's like, no, the ads is not good. So number one thing is I don't take projects that are separate. Like I either do it all or you don't hire me. Why? Because I have control of the environment. So if something
Absolutely.
happens between me and my media buyer, me and my funnel builder, me and my copywriter, it's me, right? So and then also when you separate those things, like how is the client going to, like all that he can do is look at your Facebook ads and see like, man, I'm giving you $2,000, I'm not selling anything. And you're like, gosh, man, but I can't touch the funnels because it's not paying me for that. I can't touch the email sequence. I can't do all this because I'm only running the Facebook ads. So I like to take the
Absolutely.
project. And then for me, in my opinion, the best way to build the agency is if you can paint a picture to the client where, okay, I want to work with you. I'm going to help you. But my focus is to build you a scalable business that's going to become eventually $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $1 million a month. And that doesn't happen overnight. And in order for me to do that, I have to have full control of the entire marketing process.
Absolutely. And that's a real gold nugget for everyone who's running an agency. Like, and it's not really trying to be like a missing piece in the puzzle. It's more like having the complete control so that we can actually solve the puzzle, which you're exactly doing right now. And this could really help a lot of agencies to get more clarity on what to really do. That's really awesome, Fabian. I really see you have great expertise on what you're really doing. Appreciate that. And let's go into the next question, Fabio. Like, you are one of the craziest guy when it comes to launches. Like, you have successfully done over 200 launches so far. So would you like to talk about your way of launching the new offers when it comes to getting a new client? Like, how do you exactly, in a nutshell, the process?
So when gosh, man, it's been so many different things. So my process is pretty simple. Number one part of the process is to make sure I build influence and audience, right? So I wanna, and then we will talk a little bit more about this later. But I spend not like most people when they do launch, they're doing webinars because they're focused on selling a product. And this is something that I learned from Frank Kern a long time ago, which is most people want to sell. And the truth of the matter is about 1 to 5% of the people in that particular market are buyers and hits. They're ready to buy. And there is about 45 to 55% of the people that they want to buy, but they need a little more time, 30 to 90 days process. They need to be a little more nurtured. The problem of focusing on the 1 to 5% where most people are doing webinars is it's very competitive because everybody's selling to the same people. So, and what happens is you have to have a more aggressive copy, a more aggressive, a better copywriter, a funnel with an amazing offer. Sometimes you ended up offering something that it's a little bit over what you can literally deliver. And you're in a very competitive, especially if you're in the health industry or in the money industry, it's very easy to get your account shut down because you want to stand out, and people are standing out by writing copy that is out of a reality.
True.
So what I do is I run a ton of video ads and a ton of different things that I do to get people's attention and build an influence on those people. Think about this, right? If somebody's here right now watching this video, you are an influencer on them, because whatever, because if you're not, they're just going to walk away. But if they stay and they're paying attention to you, is because whatever you're saying is valuable to them. They want to stick around and they want to listen to it, right?
True.
Now imagine that this is all about one simple funnel that you can sell a $10,000 ticket in if you're a physician. That 100% of the people watching this, they're more inclined. They probably work with physicians and they want to know like how it's done. It's very specific. So the people that are coming here, they're more specific, right? The more specific you're talking about. So my content, the way I structure content is very specific. So to one thing, to attract the right avatar and to repel the wrong one. Most importantly, repel the wrong one. Then I have this bunch of people over time that are really hungry. They really know who I am. Right? They recognize my voice, my face. They like me. I have an influence on them. Isn't that safe to say that if I'm doing a webinar or set up a high ticket funnel, isn't that safe to say that they come into the webinar, it's probably not going to be a hater. They're probably going to come like, wow, man, I can't wait to see you,
Exactly.
Yes, excited. So we never, I mean, it's really rare. I don't remember any time we got any haters on our webinars, because the way they come is different, and the way they come makes a huge difference on how they're going to take your information. Because if you run ads to a cold market, this is what's going to happen to the 1 to 5%. They're going to come like this, and you have to spend your first 5 minutes proving to them that you are the person that can change their lives, and then slowly they're going to be open up, and then maybe they're going to be like, well, yeah, maybe I'll give it a try. On our webinars, people are coming like open arms because they already know, like, and trust you. They've watched so much of your stuff and they're excited to be there. And it's like usually like a lot of people are commenting, they're asking questions. Why? Because they're already comfortable with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
That's a game changer.
Yeah. So, I don't even want to go into details on how to put an offer together and all of that. But what I'm saying is my take on this is that I prepare people before they come into any sales doors with me. Because because here's the thing, once you nurture them well enough, when they come into your sales, whether it's a webinar or sales, your copy now you don't have to have the best copywriter in the world anymore. You don't have to be as aggressive because they already bought into you. They bought you. They see you as the person. So like your copy doesn't have to have all this mental tricks, all of that stuff, because they like you. They really like you, So then we have this, then we go, and what I like to do is this. At the end of the day, most of our clients are selling something between 7,000 to 35,000. The only way that we can do that, honestly, is through a phone call. It's very rare that we sell this out of a webinar or something. I mean, there must be a phone call also to, pre-qualify these people, because if you're selling something at that end where you're going to be closer working with this group of people, you want to make sure you have the right people there as well, right? So what we do is we want people to come into this thing here where there is the phone sales, the sales call. But we have webinars, we have appointment funnels, we have high ticket funnels, we have the ebook funnel. As the client works with us, start building several points of entry that will lead into this one place. And every point of entry, when you look at the data, this point of entry is bringing 40% of the sales. This one is bringing 10. The ebook is bringing 5%. Should I quit? No. Successful business have different points of entry. All you have to do is take in your budget and you allocate. So if the ebook is bringing 5%, put 5% of your budget in there, right? And then now you have, because a lot of people's like, oh my gosh, man, I should make a ton of money with my webinar. My webinar now sucks. I don't get any sales. Yes, because maybe it's a different season, right? Autumn, spring, summer. So we have several points of entry. When one goes down, another one goes up. So it keeps us scalable, steady, consistently growing business.
Whoa. And it really keeps the business so fresh that you have never seen any bored person coming into your pipeline. And I think that's really helpful, Fabio, like the strategy which you just explained. That's what everyone is looking for. Like it's the exact strategy every business owner looking for who's actually selling a higher ticket offer. Like, and the qualification process you just spoke about, like everyone is just having pixels on the webinar pages and they're just running ads, spending multiple 5 figures just to get the data. But now what you just mentioned is like, just get influence first. Even if that's 1,000 people paying attention, that's more than enough to get enough appointments to make multiple 5 figures. Just because of the strategy you mentioned.
Yes, I mean, everybody have their own method, I think. I mean, I'm not the only right person. There's so many other methodologies and people are doing things that are doing really well for other people. But this is what we do. And this is what's been working really well for us. And that's how we've been growing the agency. And you got to think like this, right? If you have an agency or whether you're doing this for yourself or for a friend, the truth of the matter is if people that you're working with are getting results and they see that the results are growing, even if by 1 inch every single month, they have no reasons whatsoever to leave you.
Absolutely. And like what you really talk about, that it's amazing. We just need to show them the ROI of what's really working, what they're investing with you and what they're getting back. They'll never say no for our next offer or the retainer, right? That's really interesting. And now, but like the crazy system you've got, like, can you give us an explanation of your KLT system and how it really, really works?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been doing this for the longest time, but I've never really thought about the process until somebody came with this line for me, and that really hit me hard. And which was like, people will not buy from you if they don't know, if they don't like, and if they don't trust you.
True.
And I started thinking about this, like, wow, this is exactly what I do. How do I put this on a paper, right? And so then I started thinking about dating. Like, people talk about this all the time, right? So you don't go into a date and ask people for marriage. As a matter of fact, before you even go on a date, you kind of get to know that person, like get their name, their phone number, because you have to call to go on a date. Then when you go on a date, then you kind of know the person, right? Meaning you know their name, you know their phone number, but then the date is where you figure out if you like each other. And then once you like each other, then I feel like I know enough of this person, I like enough of this person, I trust this person to be my wife or to go on a date. So think about this. If this is the amount of people that knows you, not everybody likes you, right? Not everybody likes you. So you have this amount of people that probably likes you. Not all the people that like you actually trust you. The trust is right here. So this is the buyers. So what do I need to do to grow the buyers? I need to grow the people that like me. What do I need to do to grow the people that likes me? I need to know the people that knows me. And I realized this, man, most of the people that came to me, they don't sell just because they don't have enough people that knows about them. And I ask a simple question. If you are a doctor And that applies to everybody in this. Okay, put yourself in the
Mm-hmm.
same copy or whatever question that I'm going to ask now.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a doctor that helps people overcome chronic fatigue, and your clinic is in Santa Monica in California, Los
Mm-hmm.
Angeles, California, Santa Monica, and you're right there on 3rd Street, is it a possibility, that's the question that I asked, that there might be some people with chronic fatigue that lives like 4 blocks away or 2 streets down from your clinic, and they're going somewhere else just because they don't know you exist? It's not about you being good or bad. They just don't know you exist at all.
Very big possibility.
100% of them say yes. And then if they kind of like, well, there is a possibility, I go back and I say, okay, let's look at the numbers. What's the size of your list? Oh, I have 1,000 leads. Okay. How many people follow you on Facebook? I have 1,000 followers. How many people follow Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that stuff? Okay, 5,000. Factually speaking, 5,000 people knew you. They probably, somebody liked your page on LinkedIn, they walked away, they don't even remember you, but at one point they knew you. They heard of you.
Mm-hmm.
This is factual. Now, if you're telling me that there is more, you got to prove to me because I don't see them anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, is all of this with the size of your list. Everything else is you guessing. And then I'm not here in the guessing game. Right? So what I did first with the known phase is to literally expand this number. And just by expanding this number, that person that lives 4 blocks away that have chronic fatigue, they're now going to hear that there is a clinic right there and they're just going to show up. Whether it's virtually or not, because meaning, you can decide if you want to build billboards for people to know you locally on your city, on your street, on your state, in nationwide or worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So my first strategy is to get people to know you. Then with the strategic content, right? Because, hey, when you know somebody, right? How do you get to like this person? Having a conversation.
Exactly.
So I publish strategic content that will trigger some type of conversation. And some people, remember, smaller, right? Some people will start that conversation with me because they start to like me. Some, they're going to be on the no. That means they're going to walk away. They're going to forget about me, but some is going to come here. As I start the conversation, I go into also, I really like to work with videos because videos I can see how many people watch a certain percentage of my videos. So if I'm talking about the link between gluten and chronic fatigue, if I have 1,000 people that watch this entire video, I mean, I don't have chronic fatigue. Why am I going to watch this? Like the link between, let's say, 3 tips to manage menopause symptoms, to postpone menopause symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to watch this video, man? No, right?
Yeah.
If you're a woman 25 years old, you're going to watch this? No, probably who's going to watch this? Woman that is about to go into menopause or they're going through menopause. So the video is already going to attract the right people, going to repel the wrong people. Now,
messaging is super right.
Right? With the data that you get from all these people watching this video, man, what funnel can you build next for them to become a lead? Or what can happen next? Does it make sense?
Yep.
So let me just turn this off here because my phone ring. So you see how this works. Exactly. So now when somebody's watching the video, right? Now like people are watching it, now you become an influencer on them. Now you're establishing an influencer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens now is that they're most likely now it's up to you on how you're going to deliver your message, how you're going to build your product and services to help them navigate and get that answers from you, become your client. So the KLT is this. Remember what I mentioned to you before the launch, I built the influence and audience? That's what the KLT is. And I have KLT running for 100% of my clients 24/7. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Everything from the KLT into all these funnels.
Absolutely. So it's really, really a great strategy, and it's so fundamental. Like anyone can sit down and think about it, and it really makes a lot more logical sense than any other strategy out there, any other system out there. And it's really amazing, Fabio. That's a fabulous system right there. And I really believe this can be used in any niche possibly, like the know, like, and trust. It's amazing. This is a three-step process to attract any followers or random people to
Yes.
actually become a client. And Fabio, that's awesome, my friend. Really, thank you so much for just delivering that system right away on this call. So valuable interview so far. So let's get to the next question, Fabio. As you are running an agency, and running an agency is not an easy task. You have
Yes.
all these people, clients, managing everything, right? So would you like to mention like the tools or the systems you have in your agency? Like how do you manage these projects and clients for your productivity?
Yes, I use, okay, let's talk about tools. My management tool is ClickUp.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to use Trello, and ClickUp for us, it's a much better platform. It allows us to do exactly what we need to keep everything in one place. So ClickUp has been a great move for us in 2020. That's when we moved to
Mm-hmm.
ClickUp. We also use ClickFunnels is our main platform. And here's the thing, right? For anybody to work with us, they have to jump on ClickFunnels. If they don't, they're gonna look for another agency. Let me tell you, oh Fabio, is it because you want to make your affiliate commissions and all that stuff? It is as well. Well, I'm not gonna lie. But it's like I have a team that's 100% trained. They do amazing work with ClickFunnels. Why would I want to bring a new platform for them to have the learning in curve, creating new process, creating, I'm like, hey, you want to come with us? It's ClickFunnels, and that never had that never mess up my agency, right? So
Yep.
positive thing. And then we use Active Campaign for our clients as well, because we build CRM. We do it allows us to build a pretty decent CRM, so that the clients can visually see like, okay, this is how much I put in, this is how much came out, all that stuff. We have a lot of control of the open rates. We have strategies to increase the open rate. So so for our clients, those two. And then a lot of our clients are using Acuity for scheduling calls. But
Mm-hmm.
then we're not married to anything. We like Acuity, but there are other apps that people use as well. I like to also use something called Lucid Chart, where I kind of draw my ideas and my funnels.
Awesome.
I like to use also I don't use Lucid Chart to do like mind map, but I like to also do mind map. That's where I keep my process. And then one app that I actually bought, I really got a lot of good deals. I don't know if you know this, but AppSumo has amazing deals. AppSumo is where you buy a lot of those apps that you'd be paying $20, $100 a month. Then they
A
have
lifetime
lifetime
deal.
deals. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have something called social monials that we bought from AppSumo a while back, and my team uses that 100% for management, social media management, and we don't have to pay monthly fees on that one. And we have another one we bought there that give us the data, the reports, called Wisely or something. I forget the name. And then there is one app that we bought there that also works as like a Loom, but you can record video. So that's what we use to record our SOPs, or if I want to shoot a video to our clients, all of that stuff. Like I use that all the time. So those are the main, like obviously we have some more of a technical stuff like Google, there's all of that stuff. Obviously we do have, we share the drive, we have the Google professional Google Suite and all of that stuff. Those are very important because every client have their own workspace, I would say so. But those
Yeah.
are the main apps that we use to run our agency. Oh yes, one last thing
Absolutely.
is Telegram. Uh,
Telegram.
yeah, yeah. Do you know what Telegram is, or the actual
Yeah.
app?
It's a quick chat app, right?
Yeah. We used to like WhatsApp is very common in Latin America, but Telegram is great because it allows you to integrate with ClickUp, allows you to integrate. You can zap stuff, you can do all kinds of things with it.
Oh.
We used to use Slack, but we ran away from Slack because a lot of the times I'm on the go, I have to do stuff, and it's so easy for me to send the audio rather than typing. And Slack doesn't allow me to send audio, so we moved away from Slack and we're on Telegram right now.
Absolutely. And I'm an audio guy as well. It really allows us to do a lot more messaging in a quick time frame, right? I really don't like to type out the stuff. It's going to be like a 3-page message if we do so, right? So that's amazing, Fabio. And that's really amazing. Now I really see like how you're exactly delivering these kind of crazy results with all the systems and processes and own SOPs you've got in your business and helping your clients to build out similar SOPs in their business. Now I would like to ask you, like, how does your daily routine looks like for managing all of this crazy stuff together for your success? So your daily routine for success in a nutshell.
you know, um, I would say my daily routine for everybody is it's in my opinion, it's crazy to say that my daily routine is the same every day, because especially for somebody that might be watching this, they might be on hustling mode, right? They might be like, okay, like the daily routine of somebody that's growing an agency is different. Growing meaning gathering clients and going after clients is different than the daily routine of, let's say, for me, that now I'm on that phase where, okay, I want to create as many processes in place so that I can walk away from my agency, not walk away in terms of let my agency go, but basically have less of my time in the agency so I can focus more on strategies and actually other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a
So,
lot more.
so the routine for people, let's say if I'm going to share what I do now, it might not work for somebody that it's not going through the same things that I'm going through right now. Does that make sense? But if I were to give you a big picture of this morning, of this routine, is that I like to have my day divided in different categories, which is number one is I believe that we all need to be learning something every day new, right? Because if you stop learning, you're actually dying, literally. Because I mean, put it this way: if you are IT guy that works with computer, by the time you graduated from college, everything that you studied in the past 4 years is already obsolete, right? 'Cause
Exactly.
IT, every day there is new things, right? New technology, right? So the same with marketing. I want to stay current. So so I'm like always learning new things. That is,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have a time of the day where there is something new that's coming to my brain, and maybe that new thing is not something that it's going to be applicable at that moment, but it's something that it's going to make me maybe more intelligent. Those ideas are going to show up at the right time, right? And then if you can, if you have a problem, if you have an issue, or if you're looking into growing your agency, you have like, if you can take something that you learn and implement, that would be great. For us, it's easier then again because we have clients. Every time I come with a new idea, I can set up a team call and be like, look, I really think this is gonna work, and then we can implement. We can get data within the next day, week, and then we can just incorporate this into an agent. So learning new thing for us, for me, it's very important to be able to implement those new things, because it's implementing that you're actually learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about successful, right? So it's learning new things, whether it's one thing, implement that one thing, measure the results that comes out of that one thing. And then for me, when you talk about success, there is so many things that I can discuss with you, but I would say you have to be a good manager. Like, you have to know like the culture of your business, the culture of inspiring your team and managing your team. This is also very important for your success. There is a list, right? You asked me a lot of different things, but for my personal, because here's the thing: in order for my business to be successful, I have to create success in my mind first, right?
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
You have to create success in your mind first. So I can go that into like my daily routine and stuff, but in a nutshell, learn a new thing, implement new thing, measure new things, and then keep on bringing in this flow, this things, so that you're actually growing in asset, right? The more, look, you get paid for, not for your hour, right? Like, I get paid by the results I give to my clients, right? I can literally,
Exactly.
right? So the more you know, and the more you have experience, and the more you have a form of an equation in your mind, that things that you can implement and bring success to a client, you can actually get paid a ton of money by doing a 1 hour to hour consultation, a call, a consulting, call, a coaching call, whatever that is. So I'm
Exactly.
always working in growing my internal success, knowledge, implement with the team, validate, so that I can become more valuable in the marketplace.
Absolutely, Fabio. And that's really beautiful. Like the core fundamentals you just mentioned about your routine is something really amazing. And I really believe what you just mentioned is so crucial for any agency, is like creating a culture in any business, having the right managing skills. Because I see a lot of agency owners get frustrated because of all the things going back and forth. But we should really understand and give the right vision for the team, because they are the one who is going to run the agency, right? And you're beautiful when you're emphasizing this thing. It's not like being in a job while you're running an agency. It's more like letting your team run the agency and you walk out and see what's going on and really understand the bigger picture of the agency of where it's actually leading to. That's so beautiful. That's really beautiful.
That's a big pain point for a lot of agency owners because they're too much in operations. If you're in operations, how can you be the brain of your business, right? So the sooner you walk away from operation, the better you can be at reading these books and implement these books, because operation meaning you're getting paid by the hour because you're there operating your business, you're hands-on doing stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And we just need to plug out ourselves and see what's going on without her. Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And Fabio, let's get into the next quick question, buddy. You
Sure.
started out amazing from scratch. Like, so what will be your suggestion to a 20-year-old you, like young you, or someone who's just getting started into this online business agency stuff?
The answer that I'm going to give you based on my history or what I went through, because I wasted a lot of years in my life, right? I did not start when I was like, you're a lot younger than me. I did not start when I was 20, 19. Nowadays, I see people like at 17, 15 already learning, and implementing marketing, making money. I mean, the advice, man, that it took me a long time to do it is, in one phrase, would be rent someone else's brain, which is basically is buy your way into a network of people that can help you get what you want.
Wow.
Whatever you want in your life, there are
Hmm.
people that are already they're already there, and you have different options to get to where they are. Number one is you can go and study all kinds of freebie on the internet, and that's how I got started. The problem when
Hmm.
you study a lot of freebie is that what's the guarantee that the what they teach in that is actually proven
Worth
to.
trying.
Yeah, and you put all pieces together. And the second level is when you buy courses, right? When you buy courses, if you really do your diligent research, you're probably going to buy courses from people that actually not only teach, but they implement, they got results. But nothing beats the fact that I'm actually renting someone else's brain, which is that experience on how they got to where they are, so that instead of taking me 5 years or 6 years, it takes me like a year. It takes me like 6 months. It takes me like a month or two. Why? Because they are giving me the path that they actually went through,
Hmm.
minors the mistakes that they made in the past, and you know what I'm saying. So it's more of
Yeah.
a straight line to success when you're actually renting somebody else's brain, and that's pretty much it, what I would say. If you can
Absolutely.
save some money, rent somebody's brain, find the people, or get into masterminds or mentorship programs. In on the show, get into a network of people that are already where you want to be.
Absolutely. And I think that's a real fast way to track the success, right? Like it's really like who is actually living my dream and just going and asking them for mentorship. That's
Yeah,
the fastest way. And it's really beautiful. Like everyone should actually start implementing this, start reading the real books and start really connecting the right people, coaches, mentors to help them, right? That's
yeah,
amazing, Fabio. A really great advice for everyone who's watching this right now. So
awesome.
let's get into the next question, Fabio.
Yes.
Like what was your life's biggest achievement so far and any next bigger goals in your life?
Well, man, my biggest achievement was my marriage. I got married last year, so most people get married a lot younger. For me, was more so I'm hustling my entire life, and also spent a lot of years like making sure that I find the right person. So, I gotta say my biggest accomplishment was definitely getting married last year. My second biggest accomplishment was this funnel that brought us close to $20 million, and we actually apply now for the 2CCX award, which is
Whoa.
the $10 million. We need, it's probably going to be pretty soon the 25 million, because they have the $25 million award. But like right
Mm-hmm.
now, yeah, we just applied for the 10 million, even though we did 19.4 million. So that was my biggest accomplishment. Family and the business.
Wow, man, that's really awesome. And so far, you have been running agency space for a couple of years from now. And so, what was your biggest mistake in your life, like in person, in general, actually?
Oh, gosh, man, um, I wouldn't say mistake. and I want to,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say regret, and I don't want to say mistake, but I really wish that I would have joined some type of mentorship, or that I would have rented someone else's brain sooner. Because even though I am in the digital marketing since 2016, May 17th, I think that's the day when I bought my first course.
Mm-hmm.
I got curious about marketing, I think in 2007, when I um, got into multi-level marketing. And I did multi-level marketing for 7 years, and was a lot of ups and downs. But back then, if I already knew what I know now, and obviously everybody's going to say that, my life would have been completely different. But I did have the opportunity, right? And then
Yeah.
there is a say that they say that the finders is for the seekers, right? So if you don't seek, you are not going to find. And so my regret is, if I can say regret, is that I should have, I could have been seeking for people, for strategy a decade
Mm-hmm.
a decade earlier when I got into marketing, so that I would be further ahead now.
Yeah, man, I think that's a real pain point. So everyone who's watching this and still on the fence to learn something new or get a mentor, just do it. Just make sure you don't regret it later, right? That's
Yeah,
awesome, Fabio.
and I would say most people that are here right now, right? So they're watching this and they're gonna watch this later. I mean, they already, they're hearing things from me. They're hearing things from you, man. You out there putting content, bringing these amazing people. So for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people, man, you are actually shortening the time, from where they are to become successful, right? Because
Absolutely.
you in your podcast, in your show, man, you're bringing people like I've seen, like, I went on your Facebook. I'm like, oh my, wow, I see all these people. So this is no joke. Those are people, like, when I say, like, renting someone else's brain. Like, if the people are watching the podcast now, this is the closest they could be from renting someone else's brain without spending a dime.
Absolutely.
No.
I definitely appreciate that, Fabio. Like that's what I'm really trying to do, right? Like there are tons of people who I know personally who cannot afford mentorship and high-end coaching programs. Now I'm trying my level best to give back, getting these 7-figure, 8-figure, even 9-figure business owners on this podcast to teach free marketing, to teach free content on the journey. I think this is $1 million worth of content for everyone if they are really implementing what they're hearing out, right? I
Absolutely.
appreciate that you are a piece of content in this and you're genuinely giving away a lot of amazing value, just like you did for the 1 hour. You are right there. So
Thank you.
that's awesome, my friend. So any key personal, like any key persons in their inspiration, like any key person involved in your success and any people who you took inspiration from
Yes.
involved in your journey?
Well, I mean, like, most recently, obviously, my wife, right? So my wife, she is a high ticket closer,
Oh.
and she's from Brazil, and she's launching, like, amazing things in Brazil. Like, she is really dominating the marketing. So she's a big inspiration for me. Why? Because I always feel like marketing and sales, they go together, but they're different.
Yeah.
I tell my clients that my job ends when their phone rings. Because when the phone rings, if the person on the outside sucks at selling, my job is, you know what I'm saying, I'm done, because I did the marketing. Your phone is ringing. Now go ahead and hire a sales team that can actually sell the stuff, right? So so it's like getting this. When I got married, it's not only, me and my wife, it's actually marketing and sales, right? So that's something that opened up the doors to a new world for me that I
Mm-hmm.
did not that I was aware, but I did not know much about it. And the second thing is, obviously, I would say Russell Brunson. Um, Russell Brunson is somebody that I mean, my life. Well, obviously, I got the clients, but I wouldn't have kept the clients if it wasn't for his mentorship, if it wasn't for whatever I learned from him, if it wasn't for ClickFunnels. The whole environment and community was really, really important for me. Obviously, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and obviously this is also, my spirituality is what keeps me on track and keeps me mentally stable. My pastor obviously is there supporting me, And so I have key people in different areas, right? If you think about an emotional, I have my wife, then I have spiritually my pastor. I think that, like we all have body, mind, and spirit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I always try to balance both, all of them, both, no, three, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I have a personal trainer to actually, every like 4 times a week, and I walk every day. So I'm working on my body.
Wow.
Right? Your body's your temple, right? So I have my pastor every morning. I'm listening to Christian music, but I'm also listening messages that are inspiring, that are going to put me on fire to go with my day. So I need that energetic, you know, vitamin in the morning. That's my spirituality. And then I have my wife, which is more of also the emotional, more of the relationship, and then I have Russell with the entire system that provides me with the technical, with the knowledge that I need to this is all in the mind, body, spirit. All of this is in the mind, right? Uh,
Yeah.
that inspires me, that gives me the information. And one thing that I also say is that I learned from my mentor. If you take a rubber band and
Mm-hmm.
push it and then you release it, it comes back, right? You do this and you release it, it comes back. But if you
Yeah.
take a rubber band and you just push it, and you just keep it here for like an hour or two,
Yeah.
it's not going to come back to the exact same position. So we are like this. We are not meant to be stretched,
A lot.
no rest. So in order
Yeah.
for me to be able to perform well, I have to be like the rubber band. I have to go
Wow.
and do, I have to like push it hard, but I have to come back, because otherwise at one point I'm not gonna be functioning anymore. I'm gonna be like the rubber band that loses its ability to stretch.
Wow,
So
Fabio.
rest is also something that I learned that I have to
Mm-hmm.
do. It's interesting because it's during my resting time, during my walks in the lake, that most of the amazing ideas kind of show up. It's magical.
Exactly. And that's one of the beautiful analogies I've ever heard about maintaining the work life balance, right? That's amazing. And this will really apply to any entrepreneur who is in that struggling or hustling mode. Don't take it too serious, guys. Have some rest every day.
Yes.
Fabio, you are down to the earth, amazing guy who is giving away strategies like crazy, like golden nuggets, just like that on this interview, right? So,
Thank
where can
you.
the audience find you mentoring or have an opportunity to work with you together?
If anybody wants to get in touch with me, I would say avengersagency.com.
I'm gonna put the
You
link in the
know,
comments.
I'm a big fan of the Avengers, so you can tell, right? But it's kind of interesting, and I say that, I feel like my agency is a bunch of people. I call it the Avengers Agency, but I really look at it, Professor X, because my agency is a bunch of people that came from nothing and now they're superstars.
Oh,
They're superheroes. I love that. Like I didn't put all the superheroes together. I put the people that have superpowers together that they didn't know how to use it, and I basically fine tune them, and I work with them, and now they're superstars in my agency. I love that. Why?
wow.
Because people like that, they're loyal to you.
Exactly,
Like,
man. And that's really transformational for a lot of people. You're transforming real life, man.
yes, yes. And then
Amazing.
they right there and see you not only because they're working for you, they see you as a mentor. So avengersagency.com is where you can get in touch with me. I do have a Facebook. Fabios Soares, like it's at Fabios Soares. That's gonna be my Facebook. And
Hmm.
Facebook, if you like watching my stories and stuff, that's where I spend most of my time, like sharing messages in English. I do have an Instagram account. It's called Instagram.fabiosores, and that's
Hmm.
most of the stuff that I do that is in Portuguese, because man, I'm all messed up that way, because I have a huge community in Brazil that follows me, and in the US I'm more of an agency. So, but like, how do I find a balance? Like, how do I do? I'm going to be switching language to one platform all the time. It's like, okay, I'm just going to keep the Instagram in Portuguese, Facebook.
Wow.
Let's go with that,
That's amazing, man. So everyone who wants to work with, Fabio, just go to avengersagency.com and you'll really have a great time. And that's awesome, Fabio. Any last words before we conclude the whole podcast session?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. And I want to once again, first of all, congratulate you from that for the amazing work that you are doing. And
Thank you.
man, you're donating your time here. You know, none of us is getting paid to do this. So you're donating your time, you put in your time, you're sharing amazing content, you're bringing in people. And I saw how, man, I got to be honest with you. If you just send me one message, I was probably not going to be here, but you're persistent. And that's
I
an amazing,
appreciate it.
yeah. And then if you were not persistent, I wouldn't be here because I'm too busy. And
Yeah.
that's a quality that I'm like, dang man, I want to have this quality. You know, like this is something that everybody needs to have because of one extra message, I'm here. And that's
Exactly.
a huge lesson to learn for everybody. Because hey man, if you want something bad enough, you gotta go for it. And sometimes I do that on purpose because I want to know how bad enough some people want it. And so if you're here watching this presentation, like how bad enough you want it, it's going to be measured by how many times you want to try, you're willing to try, fall and go and fall and go and until you can make it.
Absolutely, Fabio. That's a really beautiful message. Again, like you are a guy giving away golden nuggets like crazy, man. And
Thank you.
super grateful that you're on this show and spend an hour of time with our audience on the Nikhil Sai Show. And again, Fabio, congratulations on being featured on Funnel Hacking Live video. Super
Oh,
excited to see you. Yeah, it was great experience to see you holding that award with Russell. Again, Fabio, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity, brother. I really enjoyed talking to you. It was really like more like a personal conversation than a formal interview. I really enjoyed doing it, man. I really enjoyed doing it
thank you,
just
buddy.
from the bottom of my heart. I hope you felt the same as well. So again, everyone who is watching this, hope you really enjoyed amazing value given by Fabio, and just stay tuned for the next podcast episode, guys. And Fabio, have a great time, bud. Thank you so much for your time. Peace out.
Okay.
Have a
Ciao.
great day.